Today we're going to go over kind of the program overview, outputs and outcomes, and then allow some space and time for some questions. So a little bit about the program, the Sexual Gender Minority Youth Program Services and Technical Assistance Contract connects youth to resources to help them meet their goals. The program works to create an environment where youth can build positive relationships with peers and adults. Services are designed to address the developmental, emotional, mental health, and safety needs of gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning youth, and any youth who self-identifies as a sexual or gender minority youth. The Sexual Gender Minority Youth centers youth voice and leadership by providing opportunities for youth to provide input to what they need from the space and what they need from adults. SGMY also educates the community so that LGBTQIA2S+ youth can have better experiences and feel safer in the areas that they're in, such as schools or in programs that partner with the community-based organizations. So when we talk about the program, who is being served? The population served are youth in the ages of 12 to 24 who are experiencing academic failure or a disconnection from school, who identify as gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, and any youth who self-identify as sexual or gender minority youth. Those are the key populations that we're asking folks to serve in this program. Some of the three focus areas of support for youth are support with connections to counseling and connections to basic needs and services or support, creating a safe space that is supportive, and then also providing some technical training and education to the community that may provide competent and relevant service to these youth. So one example would be working in providing trainings in our schools to support a better understanding of the teachers and staff, as well as connecting with our SUN service system programs, organizations who provide services to youth in through their SUN programs, SUN community schools, or through the youth advocacy programs as well. And then I will highlight that you can find this in attachment A of the RFP, page 3, and on page 6. So when we talk about social and support services, the majority of the services that of the contractor's time will be dedicated to the social and emotional support services for sexual minority youth who are identified as at risk or have indicated by poverty, academic failure, truancy, mental health needs, social marginalization, and alienation and isolation due to institutional, intrapersonal, and internalized oppression, racism, homophobia, transphobia. So these services could include, but are not limited to, support groups that provide safe and supportive environments for positive socialization, peer supports, leadership opportunities, and discussion of topics of interest and concern to sexual and gender minority youth. It could provide individual support, so supporting with advocacy, self-advocacy, support with safety planning, referrals to affirming counseling services and resources, and then weekly connections either virtually or in person, as well as some opportunities to provide some resource connection to youth. When it comes to the counseling services, it's counseling support or connections to counseling services that focus on sexual minority youth who may be referred either through the SUN, through teachers, staff, mental health consultants, school-based and school-linked entities, emphasizing on the areas of crisis intervention and suicide prevention. And this can be found in attachment A, page 7. The other part of the program is the technical assistance, which is the 15% of the service contracts time is dedicated to supporting our contractors in the SUN service system, as well as schools in building proficiency in service delivery for sexual gender minority youth. Trainings and technical assistance that support to aim and expand the number of affirming spaces and experiences for LGBTQ QIA2S plus youth to have in their communities, in their spaces, in their schools, or in the after-school programs, or in the programming supports that they receive in youth advocacy, as well as technical. So this is technical assistance supports that could include, but are not limited to, trainings, which are group trainings that are school-based and school-linked staff, case managers and mental health consultants getting some of that professional development, some of that training, and then support for counseling to sexual and gender minority youth, and then consultation services. So connecting with some of the case managers who have questions or want to know how they can support the youth that they're supporting, as well as connecting with our health clinic staff. And a lot of the times, some of the consultation has been with school-based supports and school-based safe spaces that have been established or are being worked on being established for sexual gender minority youth. And part of the program is also the outputs and outcomes. So as we're looking through kind of what are the areas of service and training, these are kind of the expectations. So the target is to serve 270 contracted staff or partners, just to train and support 270 folks in that technical assistance support, technical training on LGBTQ youth. Then also that 85% of those participants will self-report an increase in knowledge on LGBTQ issues and cultural competency. 85% of those 270 training participants who will self-report intention to use the information in their professional, excuse me, in their professional work. Then there's 45 school-based and school-linked providers will receive individual consultation. Again, those will be like teachers or counselors, some of our community providers. 65 youth and families are referred to and receive continuous support services. 60% of the youth receiving continuous support services will report an increase in their social capital, which include positive relationships, community connections, and all this can be found on attachment C, page 1. And then of the youth who are receiving continuous support, 60% will report an increase in feelings of self-worth and a sense of self. Sexual Minority Youth Resource Center will be available to sexual and gender minority youth. A resource center that is open 15 hours on a weekly basis and serve about 270 youth annually. 50% of those youth will be students or youth who identify as BIPOC, immigrant, and or refugee youth. 60% of the youth accessing services will remain in school or re-enroll in school. And then 60% of the youth accessing services will report a reduction of at-risk behavior. And with that, do folks have any questions? All right, if we don't have any questions, then I'll hand it over to Jimmy.
All right, thank you, Walter. If you don't mind, present my screen. Right, so I will be going over the process of how to submit your proposal for this RFP, and just kind of touching on the key basis to it. So let me share my page. So when you get to the Multnomah County public events page, you just have to scroll down to you see the sexual and gender minority youth services. Click on respond now, and then that will bring you to this page. From here, once you click on respond, it will bring you to the main page of the sourcing event. So this is the sourcing event summary page. Important date to remember is the closing date. So this sourcing event does close on July 16, 2024 by 4 p.m. Pacific time. So if you are planning to submit a proposal, please make sure that you do submit that proposal before this deadline. Another important date to remember is the question submission close date. So this is where this is the date that you could submit, last date that you can submit your question via the Q&A board, which you can access the Q&A board. Below on the left-hand side, you see the Q&A board. So this is where you ask your questions. If you have any questions regarding the scope of services or any questions regarding the program, please submit that question here, and then we will provide you with a response. And then this way, if multiple suppliers are asking the same question, they could just look at the Q&A board, see if the question has been asked, and they can find the answer there. If not, then they could submit a new question. So going back to the summary page, the the summary page here also provides my contact information. So again, I am the facilitator for this RFP sourcing event. So any questions should be submitted through the Q&A board. And if you have any questions on how to submit your proposal, you can reach out to me. And my phone number is here and my email. So all the information that Walter went over was was on provided on the by attachment A, and which you'll see in this section that says for all the complete event description to review the by attachment A. And then just below that, this just kind of tells you, provides you details on what this sourcing event is, how to submit your proposal, and then about the evaluation process. So moving on to the next step. You can always click on next, and then that brings you on to the next section, which is the prerequisites. Sorry. And one thing I forgot to mention on here is when you are ready, if you are interested in responding to this sourcing event, there's a button that says you attend. If you want to attend to bid, just click on yes, and then you'll be listed as attending to bid. Right, and then the prerequisite. So on the prerequisite, you just got to read over all the correspondence, and then just check on the boxes that says that you agree to the correspondence, and then just say your progress, and then you move on to the next section. And then for the next section, this is the by attachment. So this is where you'll find all the attachments that we provided for you for the suppliers. Again, the by attachment A is the main page that you want to read, as this provides you with all the scope of services and what the program is about. And then by attachment B provides you a full detail of the questions and the criteria. And then by attachment C provides you with the performance measures that you need if you are contracted out for the service. And then just to give you a look at what the by attachments look like, I will share that with you as well. So by attachment A will look like this. So this provides you the table of contents, and then all the information that you need regarding what the purpose is, our overview, as well what the program is about, and then just provides you more in-depth details on this program and services that we are looking for. So please make sure that you do review this document, as it is really important for you when you do submit your response to this RFP. Then the other by attachment is the by attachment B, which is the questions. This provides you with the full questions and criteria that you need. And with this RFP, we do ask that for the suppliers to upload their proposal. So you just upload one full document instead of answering each question in our local marketplace system. So you just create a document and upload your proposal there. And then you upload that to the question 2.1.1, which I will show you in a little bit. But I just want to point out that this by attachment B does provide you with the full evaluation criteria. So when you are working on your proposal, please make sure that you do read the criteria, as that's how this proposal will be evaluated. And then the by attachment C is the performance measure. Again, this is if you are contracted out, then these are the performance measures that the program is looking for. So just make sure that you do review these by attachments. Get back to the sourcing event. Right, so after you do click on each document review, just click on next, and then it'll be into the supply attachment section. And then if we do require you to upload a supporting document, we'll let you know, and then you would just upload it to this supply attachment section. This is what this section is for. And then the next section is the questions. So the first group is the company certification information. So this section is not scored, but we do ask that you complete this section. All you have to do is fill out the information asked, and then if a question does not apply to you, just put in A. Once you are done with that, move on to the next section, which is the proposal questions. So earlier I mentioned that you will have to upload your proposal. So you'll upload your proposal here. So just click on upload, and then it'll allow you to upload your proposal. And then there is a page limit, which I forgot to mention. So I'll bring that up. Well, right. So on bio attachment A, at the very bottom, it provides you with the details on the page limits, as well as how the document should be formatted. So please make sure that you stick within this page limit. So each question doesn't have a specific page limit, but in total, there's a 8-page limit. So make sure that you do not exceed that limit. Any information that are exceeding the 8 pages will not be used in the evaluation process. Back. So under the question section again, so after you upload your proposal, the questions below that just ask you, did you respond back to that question in your proposal? So you just click on yes to that, and then once you complete that, you go ahead and save progress and hit next. This will bring you to the item section, but we are not using this section, so go ahead and skip that part. And then that brings you to the review and submit. So you'll notice that there are green check marks, and then there are gray check marks that says incomplete. So what you want is to see all the green check marks. Once you have all green check marks, that means you're ready to submit your proposal. So just click on that the I certify statement to certify that your response is true and correct to your best of your knowledge. And then after you check on that box, you will be able to click on the submit response button. Once you do that, your proposal will be submitted. If you do need to make any changes to your proposal, you will be able to withdraw your proposals to make changes. So there will be a button that allows you to withdraw that proposal. And then also, if you do submit your proposal and then we upload an amendment, the proposal will be automatically kicked back to you. Just because when we issue an amendment, there might be some changes that you might need to do to your proposal. So the system allows you to make that change without you having to withdraw it. So once if we do issue an amendment and you submit your proposal already, you'll get your proposal back, and then that means you will have to resubmit your proposal again. So just keep that in mind if you do submit a proposal ahead of time, and then we issue an amendment after that. All right, and that is actually all I had on how to submit your proposal. Are there any questions regarding this process?
Jimmy, can I ask a clarifying question about if there's an amendment and the proposal gets sent back, does it just send to the email of whoever the registered user is in MMP?
Correct.
Okay.
And then once that happens, I will also try to reach out as well from my end to the contacts listed in the supplier.
Super, thanks.
Mhm. All right. Since there's no other question, I hand it back over to Marlena or Walter to close it out.
Thank you, Jimmy. If there are no other questions, we can end this session early, just so you know that we will be posting this as soon as we can, the recording and also the materials that we shared during our presentation with Walter. Please go to the SGMY webpage to access the recording if you need to. If there are no further questions or comments, we can end this early. Walter, how about that?
Absolutely. But just really quickly, just allowing some space for folks to process and think if they have any questions. Also, you can submit questions to Jimmy or Lucas Holter for any questions that you'll have in the future. So just to clarify, because this procurement is already out and it's available, if you have any questions about the process, about the program, just make sure that you do that either through MMP, which is Multiple Marketplace, or with an email to Jimmy or Lucas. Is that correct? They could email both, or is it just for you?
No, just me.
Okay, cool. Because at that point, because this is live to some extent, we can't answer any of those questions specifically. So if it's best to be done through either Jimmy or Multiple Marketplace. So just wanted to clarify that for everyone as well.
I do have a quick question. I'm Dan with New Avenues. Excuse me. So there's no budget required for this RFP?
Like a submission of a budget?
Yeah, I just wondered if there was any sort of like financial information or budget that you require, but it doesn't look like it. I looked through the documents and I just wanted to sort of confirm.
All the questions that are listed is what you should be submitting. So
Okay.
you'll just be answering those questions. So.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Mhm. All right. Well, I guess if there's nothing else, again, you do have any other question, just submit it through the Q&A board in Mocha Marketplace. And then if you have any other technical issue, just reach out to me and I can assist you with that as well.